this endeavor. And I want us to give Peter an opportunity. Peter will introduce Damaris. Amen. Let's appreciate him in the name of Jesus.
Well, wow, Damaris, you didn't tell me about this. Anyway, I heard through another friend, Gladys Wambigu, that someone was launching, a Kenyan was launching a book here about a year and a half ago, and having written many books. 35 books have been published. I said, well, let me take a look at it and go one time through it, a light editing. And as I began reading it, I saw a testimony, and that's the really good word too. Because testimonies can build other testimonies. And testimonies are to continue on. In any event, I saw the potential of a great book. And so that light editing turned into about a year and a half of a lot of work, which surprised me. But Damaris was very straightforward, very stalwart in my editing. I'm not an easy guy. You wouldn't want an editor that's easy. But on the same token, you don't want somebody that does too much editing. So Damaris and I worked through it, and she had a beautiful cover before, and I really loved it, but the pixels they weren't enough. I'm not real sure on pixels. I think they were 200. You need to have at least 400 for a book. So we had to do a new photo shoot and everything, and I was kind of scared about that because, you know, Damaris had such a wonderful cover, and I was just hoping that she would like it, and she did. So I'm very honored to be here tonight. I'm very honored to introduce Damaris, and so I hope that you guys take a look at her book and buy it. I have my books here. If you buy my books, okay, but tonight is Damaris' night. It's her launch. It's a world premiere. Did you guys know you're part of a world premiere tonight? And quite frankly, for someone, an African, to publish a book and have it at a world level is nothing short of a miracle, because it's a lot of work, as she will know. So Damaris, you want to come on up? And you really look lovely tonight, I must say.
Good evening. Praise the name of our living God. First, I want to give glory and adoration to the God of heaven and earth for helping me bring my work into a successful end. I'm Damaris Muema, and I am the holder of the power of bouncing back. The journey of these little pieces that I'm holding here began 3 years ago when I was diagnosed and found that I had a hole in my heart. But by the power of God, the power of healing, He helped me to bounce back through a successful open heart surgery. Just before the 2015 health crisis, my life was on and off to the hospital. Dreams were scratched. I never imagined that 3 years later, I would be sharing my story so many kilometers away from my home, doing a launch of my book. I consider this an honor. What is the meaning of the power of bouncing back? The title of my book. Bouncing back means to be happy, to become happy, healthy, or successful again after something bad happened to you. Today, I want to let you know that human spirit has the power to bounce back. Okay. I just want to share a little of my story because my story is long. Back in 2015, I traveled to Dubai to look for greener pasture. I had sacks of trains to help my family and my community. But after 3 months, one evening, I started experiencing some heart palpitation. And I went to my boss, and she took me to the hospital. First, we went to a government hospital where the nurse on duty just listened to my heart and told me that everything was okay. So before the next evening, my situation worsened. This round, we went to a specialist and conducted some tests, the ultrasound and the ECG, and the doctor confirmed to me that I had a hole in my heart. I felt that that was the end of me because he told me nothing could be done to me, only through open heart surgery to repair the heart. So he told me that I had only 6 months to live, but what I know is God is the one who is the author and finisher of our lives. So I told me I have only 6 months to live. Why? Because my heart is slightly affecting my lungs. So when your lungs is damaged, there is no way to repair your heart. So after, he told me again that according to my situation, I could not travel back to my country. So he put me on trance to avoid some other complication like heart failure, high blood pressure. And then after 3 months, everything was okay, and I went back home. When I went back home, I explained my story to my family. I showed them the document from the doctor, and they didn't believe it. So what they did, they said that maybe you came back home because we are busy, you could not work. So they used the story, they used your sickness, like sickness defect, to bring you back. So I told them no. So no one was there for me except God. I decided to fight on my own, trying to look for a cardiology, and these doctors are very few. It took me like 1 month before I get one. So it was far from my home, and I had to travel. When I went to see him, I decided to hide the results from Dubai. So I was also, I didn't believe that this is true. Because I lived for 24 years, but still my life was not okay, but I didn't think anything close to open heart surgery. So when I went, we conducted another test, and the results were the same. It told me the same thing, 6 months to live. So we need a quick open heart surgery. So he told me that I was lucky because the hospital where I went to see the doctor, they were performing the open heart surgery in 1 month's time. So he put me on a weekly clinic where I used to go and see him every month. So a week to my surgery, he told me that I should come with my parents to sign my commitment letter. And when I called my family, they told me there is no way they could do such a thing. If you had to lose me in theater, they told me let the doctor put you on trance. So I had to miss out the first open heart surgery because of my friends and my family. So at times we should believe the negative voices. We should be courageous, we should be strong, we should believe in ourselves. So I had to let the first free open heart surgery to go. So they promised me that after a month they will help me to get the treatment outside the country. After I had to let that first open heart surgery to go, during that 1 month, no one was there for me. Even helped me to purchase phone trans. No one was there for me. So I had to bounce back, and I said, no matter what, It was very costly. This round was not for free. So it was very costly. And I didn't have any money. But I believe that believe is the key to bounce back. I believe that everything will work for the good of me. That God will help me to get the healing. So when I went to the hospital, my doctor told me to pay like some amount before the surgery. Around $100. I didn't have anything with me. So what happened, I told doctor, you know what, I really need healing. And this is the only way to get my healing. So what you need to do, just operate me. If the hospital will detain me, I wouldn't mind. After I'm healed, you give me some labor job to pay for my bail. So he said it's okay. And I underwent a very successful open heart surgery. I had to hide from my family, from my friends. I had to believe in myself that everyone should be well. So at times we need to be strong. Hope is also another key to bouncing back. Action is another key to bounce back. Accept your situation is another key to bounce back. So I wrote this book to encourage people who are going through different challenges, be it spiritual, financial, or relationship issues, or whatever setback. I believe through my book I will help you to bounce back. It will give you hope and power for you to bounce back. No matter what you are going through, God has the power to enable you to bounce back. I can assure you, if you read this book, it will lead to her from doldrums and put you on the mountain tops. So today, I dedicate this book to anyone who feel like giving up and quitting. We are not quitting. We're still all on strong. And to all my brothers and sisters, regardless of your political affiliation, striving to heal from disappointment, disease, or loss, you can bounce back. The greatest power we have is the power of bouncing back, but the damage is the power of indecision, doubt, and fear. Fear can paralyze our dreams. Let us avoid fears in our life. If you have passion for something and you really love people, my request today is let us come together and participate in activities to make change for yourself and for the others, and to make this world a better place than we found it. Before I finish, I want to quote a quote from William James. He said that human beings can alter their destiny by changing their attitude. And that is what I'm asking you to change today. So thank you very much for coming to grace this occasion. To Pastor, it takes a great heart of a man of God to allow such programs.